Hey guys, so in this video I want to let you know of the difference between an ENFJ and also an INFJ, two types that tend to be easily confused with one another. And I believe the reason for this is that ENFJs can often display a lot of the conventional traits of an introvert, and an INFJ can display a lot of the conventional traits of an extrovert. And I'll let you know what I mean by that. First, I want to start off with an example to illustrate this point. So I know of this ENFJ and INFJ couple, and if you were to meet them, you would believe that the INFJ must be the extrovert and that the ENFJ must be the introvert, because the INFJ, she's a lot more social, she's a lot more talkative. She created the social group for the couple. And the ENFJ, on the other hand, he depends upon the social circle that the INFJ has created, and he's a lot more quiet and in the background. Sometimes it's hard to tell what he's thinking about. So this is just an example of how this could manifest. There's a lot of ENFJs who are pretty social. There's a lot of INFJs who are quiet or they have some sort of social anxiety. And I'm just letting you know one way this could manifest itself. And now I want to go into theory, because I think the theory is really interesting and worth talking about. The reason why ENFJs can come off as introverts is because they more readily demonstrate, on average, they more readily demonstrate the introvert intuition than an INFJ. There's people walking around in the background up there. And I believe that INFJs, on the other hand, they more readily demonstrate their auxiliary function, extrovert feeling, compared to the ENFJ. So what is the reason for this? How can this be the case? Don't ENFJs value extrovert feeling more? Don't INFJs value introvert intuition more? This is because the auxiliary function, the auxiliary function is the parent function, according to Dr. Beebe. The parent function meaning this is how you serve other people around you. This is the way you relate and you connect with others and you interact with the social environment. This is the tool you use whereupon you demonstrate or you try to do the things that your first function wants to do. And you use the auxiliary function as a tool for the first function and get the message of your first function out into the world. And so this is why ENFJs more readily display introvert intuition. So when you first meet an ENFJ, they express their underlying vision of life, of our meaning in this world, of the trends and dynamics in society, and how they change over time. So these are ideas that ENFJs, on average, more rarely express out to the world. They're kind of instigators in a way. They are kind of more likely to have a disruptive presence compared to the INFJs for this very reason. And the reason why is because they want to excite people about this world. They want to get people involved and to contribute. And the way to do this, to get them excited about what's going on in the world and excited about their lives and of transformations, is by talking about introvert intuition. And so they more readily express it compared to an INFJ. And part of the reason is because they have less restrictions placed upon introvert intuition, because they do it in the service of extroverted feeling. Extroverted feeling is what they really care about. This is what they take seriously. So they kind of use introverted intuition in a more free manner than INFJs. INFJs, they take introverted intuition more seriously. So they don't want it to be used as willy-nilly. And I'm not saying that ENFJs use it willy-nilly. They kind of use it. They kind of wait. I have to do this dance in order to turn on the light. So, where was I? So, ENFJs, they more readily, they more freely express introverted intuition because that function is not of their primary value. They're not as concerned about getting it right compared to an INFJ who really takes it seriously. So in some cases, it is true that the introverted intuition of ENFJs could come off as a bit insincere at times. The theory behind this is that in sociologics, they call the auxiliary function, the second function, the show function. So this is a function you kind of put on for show for others. I believe this is generally true, but it's also, I don't believe in it in a strong sense. I believe people genuinely value their auxiliary function, and they do it for its own sake. ENFJs really do care about where the world is headed. They really do care about what are people's meanings in their lives and that they're owning their potential. This is real stuff to them. So I don't believe it's fake, okay? But it kind of is a mixture of taking it seriously and not taking it seriously. It's a valued function of theirs, and I believe that they do believe it for its own sake, but they also, at times, they kind of use it in a willy-nilly fashion, just not all the time. And I believe the reason for this is because their extroverted intuition is very strong, and I'm going to get into that later because that's a different topic. INFJs, on the other hand, they take introverted intuition very seriously, and it's very personal to them. So they're not going to readily share this introverted aspect of themselves. ENFJs are going to readily share this introverted aspect of themselves. INFJs, on the other hand, they more readily show extroverted feeling, a lot for the same reasons why ENFJs, they show introverted intuitions, because they don't take it as seriously, so they have more free reign over it. So when you first meet an ENFJ, their extroverted feeling is a lot more apparent. So INFJs could appear rather vanilla. They could be very vanilla. They try their best to harmonize with the environment, to smooth things over socially, to say the right things. So it could kind of seem kind of superficial, but they're a lot deeper than that, right? They're a lot deeper than that. And so these two types are, they're similar. They're sister types. NFJs, they have introverted intuition. They're both weird. They're both weird and nutty, but INFJs, upon first appearance, they don't appear that way. They don't appear weird and nutty. They appear more like people of this earth compared to ENFJ. ENFJs, when you first meet them, they look kind of alien. They look kind of bizarre or something. And again, I have to say this has to do with their stronger extroverted intuition. They value extroverted feeling and introverted intuition, but they have a very strong extroverted intuition. And they readily show their introverted intuition. The reason why they don't come off as people of this world is because they have introvert sensing polar. So introvert sensing is basically anything that makes you a person who's interested in the conventional aspects of life, of day-to-day living, and the ho-hum of life. And ENFJs are none of that. They want to go out and get people out of introvert sensing and the mundane and care about bigger things in life because of extrovert feeling and introvert intuition. So So appearing kind of alien and kind of bizarre, these are almost like more like introverted kind of things. Whereas like harmonizing with the environment is kind of more like extroverted kind of things. INFJs, they have a role introvert sensing, so that means they appear like introvert sensing types when you first meet them. They appear more like people of this earth. I can almost like show you pictures. Like these are ENFJs. Look at these funky looking people. They look pretty funky. All right. Whereas these people, they look a lot more harmonious in appearance, more like people of the earth. They're still like there's something slightly alien about them, and when you get to know them, it's a very different story, right? So I like to think about like how like when you first meet an INFJ, they're like all vanilla and all like this, and then but then you friend them on Facebook and have like all these twisted images on Facebook of like dogs eating giraffes or something. Not necessarily like that, but you kind of get the picture. They're a lot deeper, more disturbing people once you get to know them, right? So like the bizarreness is more upfront when it comes to the ENFJ. So I want to talk more about this. I'm going to bring this up to the next level on my next time I talk about ENFJs and INFJs. So stay tuned.